Hello and welcome. It's me, Persita, and this is Persita's Paradox. So here we are today. Thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate you, your time and effort in finding the channel. If you're new, I greatly appreciate you even more because that just means that we are getting out and I'm excited. If you're an OG, as always, thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate you for always keeping us afloat and watching and all that other good stuff. So here we go. What shall we talk about today? Well, I think first and foremost, we need to really pay attention to the premise that it is the time for us to assess, right? And feel ourselves and make sure that we are in tune with self. And then secondly, it is time to rest. It is time, my God, to rest. And what I mean by that is not completely understanding that rest is not a place of just purgatorial nothingness. It is a place for you to really align with what you have, what you're doing, and where you're going. But it also doesn't mean that it's for you to want to jump up and do more things. So the question today is, do you understand what rest should really mean? Usually when we think about rest, we are in a position we are jumping up right after our so-called vacations or staycations or whatever it is. And then we think that we are supposed to do more, right? It's like that time is supposed to have given you more momentum for you to get up and do 15,000 more things. It is not. It is not. Rest does not mean to then stop and then speed up and go even faster. Rest is just that. Rest. When you think of a rest stop, if you've traveled by car, I'm old enough to do road trips. I don't know if people do road trips anymore, but for the road trip people, there's those rest stops, right? And in those rest stops that you have along your journey, none of them are set up for you to literally rest and then speed up when you're leaving. It's literally a pocket of time that you are to take a break, reassess, get back in your car, and continue the journey. Typically, when we think about it, again, we just think that you need to rest because you need to do more when you stop resting. I want you to get out of that mindset. I want you to understand that you are doing exactly what let me stop and say you should be doing exactly what you need to be doing. And if you are, then there's no reason to do that. Now, for my procrastinators, for my people who feel as if you're going to wait to the very last minute of everything to then do it. And then, you basically pass out from fatigue and you need to rest. This is not the video for you. This is for the people who are keeping an even keel. Right? You're absolutely staying in a position of progression all the time. You're always in a place of moving and you're just now saying, I need to rest. And that rest is not for you to get back up and do more. It is for you to continue in the speed that you were moving prior. That's why I utilized the rest stop. Now, if you go to a rest stop, on a road trip and you are, losing your mind and you slept longer than you should and, something else happened, bathroom was nasty and you had to stay there longer, then that's different because then of course you'd have to pick up some speed to kind of maintain what you've been doing and you're basically making up for lost times. Typically in life, that's not really the case. Because if you try to do that, if you've noticed, especially coming off of some time that you really were able to decompress and you try to speed back up, you don't feel like you've even gotten the rest. If you do it in a manner that you slowly move back into what it is, like you're hitting the accelerator and you're moving back into whatever the speed was that the car was in, and then you're hitting the, what do you call that? The cruise button, then yeah, I can see that. But for the people who are just not in that space and you're like, girl, when I rest, I really need to rest. And it's so hard for me to come back and get back into the groove. And I'm doing what I need to do and it's still very difficult. Then you didn't rest, because to rest really means to let it go, to not care for a second, to be in a space that it's a nothingness and you're allowing the nothingness. And that doesn't necessarily mean a vacation to go somewhere sometimes. And it doesn't mean, being able to even leave the bathroom. But you have to find a space to decompress and rest, and literally take yourself out of the realm of the hustle and the bustle. We in the American society, we are big about, I say this all the time, we are all about the hustle. Most other countries know that about us, which is why they want to come. Most other countries don't have the opportunity to actually better themselves. If you were born into wealth, you sustain wealth. Socioeconomic breakdowns do not have an increasing factor in most places, right? So when you come to America and you have the opportunity to be quote unquote land of the free, and opportunity is, just and in a huge array of things that you can do, a plethora of things that you can actually do to create. Everyone here has the opportunity to make money and do things. Of course, there's always the racial inequality that sits in for everyone, everywhere, worldwide. I'm not referring to that. But overall, we have the opportunities here to do things. And with that being said, we then are always in a hustle. Everything is a hustle. Everything is moving quickly. Everything is about making it happen and making it happen quick. The problem with that is that sometimes when you're moving fast, even when you know where you're going, you will pass your stop. I'm big on using metaphors, so let's just use another one with the vehicle. If you are driving and you're talking and you're doing all of these other things and you're distracted, you will still miss your exit, your street, your turn. So you want to understand that even in that, the rest is important, to slow down, to really pay attention, to really be intentional and make sure that everything that you're doing is not just for show or for accolade, but actually with an intent to be successful in whatever it is you're trying to be successful in. Then you'd understand what I'm trying to say. So when I'm saying it's time to rest, I'm really asking you, how do you rest? What do you do when you call yourself resting? And are you feeling as if you're able to get up and do things better? Or do you find yourself feeling like you've fallen into a deeper hole and now you can't get back up? Because all of that plays a role in the mindset. Sometimes we don't allow ourselves to believe that we can rest. Sometimes we literally feel like we're self-sabotaging ourselves by slowing down. If that is you, I really, really pray that you understand that if that's the mindset you're in, resting is crucially important for you right now. You have to really pay attention to what your mind and your body is saying, even when you feel as if you need to do something else, because then we get right back into a self-sabotaging status. And you don't want that. You don't want to put yourself in a place of not even loving yourself enough to understand when you've done all you can do at that moment and you need to rest. So remember, because we have all of this opportunity here, we hustle. But if you think about when Americans want to travel abroad, the first thing that we notice that's different is that they rest a lot. They're not as caught up and as pretentious as we are in regards to hustling. Here, if you're not busy, you basically are made to feel as if you're not worthy. If you're not doing 9 jobs, then, what are you doing with your life? Hopefully living. Hopefully you're picking something that you can do that doesn't require you to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Hopefully you're understanding that you have to learn to have a life outside of just making a living. And in that, it's very key for you to rest. Rest. And you're resting on whatever level you can. Because I'll hear it all the time. Well, girl, I don't have the money to rest. Lies. You have the money for whatever you want to have the money for. And you beg for whatever you need. So I'm going to say it to you again. The things that you want to have the money for, you have the money for. And the things that you need, you beg for. Meaning you will always figure out a way to pay for the stuff that you have told yourself that you want. But the things that are necessities, right? Like, lights and gas, some people then just take it upon themselves to kind of let that stuff fall by the wayside because it's not as glamorous. It's not as, showy. It doesn't really let the world know that you're putting in all the best work and that your hustle is bringing forth something tangible. So you have to be conscious of even that idiosyncrasy that the world has put on us to make us believe that you have to show everything you're doing. You have to show some sense of receipt You have to be able to prove it. You have to have people who validate you in order for you to feel as if you are worthy. You're always worthy. You're so worthy that I'm telling you that your worth needs to have a sense of rest. You need to incorporate that rest in so that you can stop and make sure that you're not doing all the other stuff that I just said. So, rest. Rest. And I'm not telling you to rest to the point where you lose sight of your goals or you lose opportunities or you're not aligning with what it is you need to do. I'm telling you that only you know what you can do in regards to your time and your rest. But I'm telling you to be conscious enough to make time to do it and not make the excuses that you can't. Because all of us who work, all of us who have any sense of accountability to some type of an employer of any sense should recognize that if we died in the premise of trying to do the work for these individual companies, that they would mourn us for 2 seconds and then they would literally hire someone else to replace us. So what am I trying to tell you? You have to take care of you. And that's what that rest is. It's taking care of you. It's not creating more room for you to do more. It's creating a space for you to be able to balance and reorganize and rearrange the things that you're already doing to make sure that you're working in an efficient manner and you're doing what you need to do to reach your goal. So that's my speech. And hopefully you understand it. I know the people who know me personally know that I absolutely take care of myself in that regard. It's not an option. And I hope that for everyone. I don't want to feel as if I'm an anomaly in a scenario that should be everyone's lifestyle as well. So I'm pushing that on you for you to understand it's important. It is crucially important for you to rest. Even if you are in a weight loss scenario, even if you're telling me right now, girl, I really want to lose weight, so I got to get up and I'm doing 2 a days. I'm working out in the morning, working out in the evening, but you still aren't doing all the other things like resting, right? Then there's no way for you to lose weight, because guess when you lose weight? In your sleep. You lose weight in your sleep. And trust me, I'm a professional and I know. And if you think that I'm not telling the truth, go look it up. There's no way for you to do it while you're moving, right? So with that being said, rest is even important in something as simple as weight loss. So resting, the mind, the body, the spirit will rejuvenate you to make you better and help you achieve your goals faster. As always, you know the drill. You know what I'm looking for. You know that I want you to do 3 things in order to start, sustain, or build what I'm saying. And that is live life authentic. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. If you have listened to me thus far, you should have already hit the like button while I was talking. You should have already hit it. And if not, hit it now. Also, make sure that you comment and you share. Absolutely subscribe and hit that notification button. And I will, of course, appreciate you to the utmost. As always, have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.